Hello and welcome to a Let's Play of Final Fantasy VIII. This is the PC version, and I can't get the 3D acceleration to work no matter what I try. So it's gonna look like shit, but might as well get started. How do you start this? Out of the opening cinematic, I think the fight between the two guys is something that's actually even remotely relevant. Dr. Kadabaki, how are you feeling? Okay, I guess. Take it easy next time, you hear? Looks like your eyes are focusing. You should be fine. Say your name for me. Squall. Why did you take it easy in training? Next time you might not be so lucky. Tell that to Cypher. That Cypher won't listen to anyone. Why don't you ignore him? I can't just run away. You wanna be cool, huh? Well, don't get hurt in the process. Let's see, your instructor is... Quistis. I'll call her now. Just wait here a moment. Quistis, come get your student. Yes, yes. His injury is not serious. He'll probably leave a scar, though. Right. Please come by. Squall. So we meet again. I knew it'd be either you or Cypher. Come on, let's go. Today's the field exam. Squall, is there something on your mind? Not really. What's so funny? Funny? No, no, it's not that. I'm just happy. I feel like I'm beginning to understand my student a little, that's all. I'm more complex than you think. Then tell me more about yourself. It's none of your business. Good morning, class. Let's start with today's schedule. There seem to have been rumors flying around since yesterday. Yes, the field exam for seed candidates will begin later this afternoon. Those not participating and those who failed last week's written tests are to remain here in study hall. Field exam participants will have free time until the exam. Just be sure you're in top condition. Meet in hall at 1600 hours. I'll announce the team assignments there. Any questions? Oh, and Cypher, do not injure your partner while training. Be careful from now on. Snitch. Field exam participants, I will see you all later. And Squall, I need to talk to you. So we're some kind of a student. And apparently everyone else but me and Cypher has to obey by some kind of dress code. You haven't been to the fire cavern yet, have you? You won't be able to take part in today's seed exam if you don't pass this prerequisite. I was gonna go this morning, but Cypher... You have a good excuse? Not really. Then let's get going. If you're not too confident yet, you can review your studies at the study panel. I'll be waiting at the front gate, so come down when you're ready. You can access the study panel from your seat. I'm not doing that. It's gonna be enough tutorial crap to deal with. That's not to say I couldn't use the tutorial. I've not. It's sort of haven't played in so long of a time that I can't really remember much. There are some things I do remember, and I think that's for the better. I'm late. Are you okay? There. I'm fine. Sorry, I was kinda in a hurry. Oh yeah? Hey, did you just come from that class? Hey, is homeroom over? This place is so much bigger than my last garden. Oh, hey. I just transferred here. Do you think you could give me a quick tour of this garden? Sure. Probably giving a tour to myself at the same time. Woohoo! Alright, let's go! We'll take the elevator to the first floor lobby and I'll show you the directory. Oh hey, would you like to have these? My brother gave me these cards, but they're really not my thing. You can have them if you'd like. What? How do you play a card game? I think it would be best to look at the card game explanation in the tutorial. I don't know much about it really. If you want to play cards with someone, talk to them by pressing S. But keep in mind, not everyone is a card player. Oh, and by the way, I don't play, so don't bother challenging me. You see, it's 7 cards. It's a mini game. It's not just a mini game. Really, it's a mini game. You can ignore it, but you shouldn't. At least to some extent. And I'll get into why later. Okay, that's the directory. Well, this is it. Balam Garden is pretty big. It's a good idea to check where you want to go and select here. I have a question. How do you use this? Okay, I'll give a quick explanation on the various facilities. Yes, sir. You will find the dormitory to the north. A majority of the students live in the dorms. There aren't too many students who commute. Yeah, I'm in the dorms too. You can rest and change in there. West of the north block is the cafeteria. There's always a big rush for the hot dogs. You'd better get used to waiting in line. Got it. East of the north block is the parking lot. We usually take the guarding car when our mission comes up. The front gate is located to the south. That's right. I have to go meet Instructor Trepe at the front gate. I guess Instructor Trepe will be Quistis. What's the matter? Nothing. Next we have the quad located in the west block. There is an event being planned there. I know, it's the garden festival. It's going to be great. I'm planning to be on the committee. You wanna help out too? Let's just continue. South of the west block is the infirmary. This is where you get treated for your injuries, but a lot of students just come here for advice. What's the doctor's name? Dr. Kadawaki. Now to the east block. This is the training center. It's the only facility open at night. It's used for training, and they have real monsters running loose here. If you don't take it seriously, you may end up dead. Just be careful. Okay. South of the east block is the library. There's a lot of material you can look up here, but the terminals in the classroom are a lot more efficient. And you already know about the classroom on the second floor, right? Yep, I remember that one. By the way, the headmaster's office is located on the 3rd floor. You need permission to get in. Another question, what's the headmaster's name? Headmaster Sid. That's about it. Any questions? Got it. Hey, are you taking today's seat exam? Yep. Then maybe I'll see you again later. I've already finished my training at my previous garden. I'm taking the seat exam today too. Good luck to the both of us, huh? Thanks a lot. it going? Meet the instructor. There's a lot of things we could go out and do, but there's really no point doing it now. We don't even have access to simple things at the moment. Yeah, we can't junction, we can't use guardian forces, can't use abilities, can't switch anything, can't save, so... battle operation online. Help card game rules. Test. Written test race C track. Might as well move on to things so we can unlock the basic functionality. That's a draw point, but we don't have a draw ability, so we can't do anything with it. Yeah, found a draw point, no one can draw. Well, I'd like to explain it, but I think the game's gonna do it for us soon. Knee-high boots and some kind of a dress. Everyone's using some kind of a weird dress as combat gear in this game. Still, I think we use some kind of a revolver sword, and Quistis will be using a whip. I guess the traditional mercenary weaponry. Squall, you're forgetting something. You're GF. Named character. Quetzalcoatl. So... Yeah, fine. Shiva. Fine. I have a few things to explain before we head up. GF gives us strength. The stronger the GF, the stronger we become. So, here's a brief explanation on junctioning a GF. Junctioning tutorial. Junctioning enables characters to power up and use abilities. You basically can't do shit without a GF. This means GF must be junctioned in order to power up and use abilities. Let's begin by junctioning GF. No GF is functioning. All other commands in grey cannot be selected. Yeah, since no GF is junctioned, magic is displayed in grey. Let's junction GF. GF list. What it does. HP J, Vitality J make the stats, hit points and vitality appear in white. Magic can now be junctioned to hit points and vitality. But since there is currently no magic, we will move on to setting ability. Yeah. You can't do shit. You can't even use items without junctioning a GF first. So without GFs your character is totally worthless. Any kind of simple GF will do to actually be able to do basic functionality, but you absolutely have to have every goddamn GF you can get your hands on. It's just common sense. They also eat. This is too basic to even talk about, really. Non-command abilities are buffs, basically, like plus 20% to your magic stat. That isn't all that helpful. Everything okay up till now? You can always check back by accessing tutorial from the menu. Once we get to the fire cavern, I'll explain how to junction magic. Use the command draw during battle and stock magic from your enemies. Be sure to have some stock. Ready to go? The fire cavern used for the test is located east of here. Oh yeah. We need to junction some. We have a level 1 Quizzle Vocal and a Shiva. Be Shiva. We could junction something to spirit, but we can't. Okay. Draw. Magic. GF. Draw. GF. Magic. And the magic of draw. I can't go back. I'll use the draw point. Cure. Yes. We stocked with 3 cures. There's no easy way to say this. The draw system is the worst piece of shit this game has. I don't want to go into it now though. I'll go into it when we get into our first fight, so I can explain a bit better why that is. Also why the card game can be very good for us, which is why we can't ignore it. Yeah, that cave there behind the forest is where we need to go. It's a sort of a pixel vomit here. So we have a map of some sort. So we have a map. Balanka. Want to get into a fight once. So I can bitch about drawing mechanics. And bitch about them I will. Excellent, 1 enemy. And here's the big problem. Squall, you still remember? E is the trigger. Pull it as you strike. Same for Ranzukuken. That doesn't tell you anything. But here, draw. Question mark. We'll stock up on those. So basically, it means we can draw magic from enemies. Fire and scan from this one. Excellent. We can also just draw and directly throw the magic we just draw. Simple enough. Now, the pitching. Oh no, pause gives you flickering, so I'm not gonna pause. Think about the implication of that. It doesn't... You have to draw magic in order to use it yourself. The magic, heals, elemental attacks, everything has to be drawn from enemies, a few at a time. There's a maximum of, I think, 100 per spell. That's a massive, absolutely massive waste of time. And what makes it worse, it happens during a fight. So instead of actually fighting enemies, you're just going to basically try to keep the battle going in an effort to draw more magic from them. Why would you do that then? Naturally, magic is useful, but here's the problem. Lots of your power sort of increase comes from junction. Magic can be junction to attributes. Hit point, strength, vitality, magic, spirit, speed, evasion, hit, luck. A lot of things. And this doesn't do shit. But a better magic, certain magics have certain compatibilities, so scan probably helps with hitting and things like that. So the problem is that's the main way for you to power up in this game. Having good magic junction to a lot of abilities, then other GF abilities. So you don't want to draw your magic. Congratulations, you'll just gimp yourself. And if you want to have any kind of good character progression, it gets more strength. You have to junction magic. You just have to. There's no way around that. Okay, what are you learning? Define. You basically gain bonus points for these GFs during fight, which means you can do a lot of things. What we want to do first is refine water ice magic from an item. And this is basically my way of trying to at least circumvent the draw mechanics to a certain extent. We're trying to gain items which we can then refine to magic, so we don't have to spend a huge amount of time drawing them from enemies we encounter. We can't evade drawing entirely, because you can from some enemies you can draw new guardian forces, similarly like you draw magic. So instead of it might be, I'm not sure if it's named directly or is it a line of question marks, but similarly to how we draw the few scans and fires, you can draw a new guardian force. So it's something you always have to check, at least unless you know beforehand who has something. But the card game is relevant here, because some of the cards can also be transferred to items, which can then be transferred to magic. So some cards you get without too much trouble can be refined to very good items, which can in turn to refine to a lot of very good magics. So in fact, collecting the cards is a great way to earn some very powerful, very rare magics with very little effort. Another is a sort of a mini game that's not part of the actual game. When you got this game the first time, when it came out, there was a sort of a mini game attached to it called, was it Chocobo World, something like that? It's black and white, and it actually plays itself if you leave it on. It's just very inefficient doing that, and it collects you bonuses and items. The thing is, you can transfer those items into this game, so it's another way to get some of those refinable items in the game. You might play it again, because you can just basically have it running in the background of your computer and it keeps collecting them. So, stock up. I'd like at least a few cure spells. Everyone should have a couple of cures, even if you don't junction them anywhere. But this is what you... Since the 100 spells is maximum, and the more you have the magic, the better the buff to your attributes is. So this is what you would do a lot of time if you don't know alternative ways to get the magic. Is you sit around here for what the hell, 5, 10, 15 minutes sucking up magic from every goddamn enemy that comes your way. And it's just a terrible game mechanic. In Final Fantasy VII you just got what? You just got materia and you were good to go. Here it's not good enough that you have to draw it, but it's so tightly tied to character strength progression that you just can't not do it. If you don't do it, you're fucked. There's no way around it. Use cure. Yes. Okay, once we'll save. Let's do our test. Okay, junction in magic. Now pay attention. I'll be explaining how to utilize the magic you have stocked. Can we skip this? Yeah, you junction them to raise your stats. And you have to raise your Guardian Force abilities to unlock different junctions. It's fairly straightforward. Difference between a guy who had 100 thunders, for example, and me, who has nothing, is quite drastic. So, there's a huge benefit in just waiting here and gathering up the few magics available and drawing them out. You'll do a lot better. I'm sort of hoping we can ignore it until we can do some kind of refining. When you draw new magic, try experimenting with it when you junction. This is how you become stronger. Okay, ready to go. Oh, you know how to use your gunplay? Actually I don't. It's better to go over it. Status screen. Gunplay auto. Yeah, please do it on automatic. Actually, I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Yeah, I have to manually press the fire button to the Renza-Kuken indicator. It's basically a limit break of a sort. But I think here you get it more when you're near death. And in Final Fantasy VII you get it if you take enough damage. Here it's near death. So there's a exception to that. If you have an aura ability, you can sort of get the limit break to come without being near death. I was supposed to check the status screen. Which this is actually quite nice. There isn't much difference between the characters. The difference is between the junctions. What do you junction to a character? The characters themselves are pretty much the same. The exception is the limit break. Quistis is basically the enemy skill of Final Fantasy VII, or I guess blue magic in some other Final Fantasies. She can take special attacks from enemies. I'm not quite sure how she'll learn them though. Yeah. Rough divide, damage 1 hit. We'll see how it goes. Objective: to obtain a low-level GF, a seed member must support. Are you ready? Sure. I'm ready. I'm his support. Instructor number 14, Quistis Trippi. Select a time limit. Choose one suited to your abilities. Challenging yet reasonable. 10 minutes, 20, 30, 40. I have no idea. Maybe 20, because I'm not sure I know what I'm doing. Although 10 might... What would you get if you beat it in 10 minutes? Don't know. Holy shit. Literal 10 minutes. I don't have time to do this dialogue shit because I have 10 minutes, so shut the fuck up. Time to do things. Yeah, the timer keeps running, so we just can't afford this. What can I take from you? If they have something interesting, we'll take it. If not, we'll just... Night. How do you... Shit, I have no idea how to do things here. Fuck. Okay, that skips. How the fuck do you do this? I know how to fight, that's what I'm not... Let's see. Cannot be that. Cannot be that. Yeah, we've fucked this up already. What I'm trying to do is, how do you escape in this game? There aren't that many buttons to be available. You think it would be these, but no. These. How the fuck do you escape in this? Has to be a way to run away. There aren't that many buttons either, so I'm wondering, it can't be that. Can't be this. Can't be that. How the fuck do you escape? I'm just very much confused. No matter what I press, I can't escape. So fuck. Oh, there was something happened. Okay. We're dead anyway, but you know. 5 minutes wasted, nothing done. Where the fuck am I gonna use nice attack on them? Yeah. Enough with the chit chat. We have about 2 to 3 minutes to kill whatever we face here, and then we might still have time enough to escape. So... we get started. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have time with our crappy abilities. Please don't be a hugely long animation. Well, hello there. Wow, that was weak. They have Shiva. Yes, we do. We should have gotten eyes from somewhere, clearly. Impudent humans. Yeah, that's us. I have about a minute, maybe, to kill this guy. Very unlikely to happen. Still, it's probably faster way to do damage than that, so... keep doing it, hopefully we'll still manage to do this. I don't think we have time to escape. Well, we gave it a shot. Ooh, excellent. Two hits. Ah, shit. For me to lose to a human. Very well, I will join you. There isn't much time, but let me go over this real quick. Good, you've got yourself a GF. With the junction that GF, you'll be able to use the elemental junction ability. Here's an explanation of elements. Yeah. Junction can change basic parameters such as strength and magic, as well as elemental parameters, by junctioning a GF with elemental junction ability, as magic is junctioned. The elemental attack and defense slot above hit point turns white, indicating an elemental junction. When left is selected, the elemental junction screen appears. Elemental junction works like other junctions. First select a start junction, then choose a magic to finish the junction. However, non-elemental magic like Cure cannot be junctioned. Elemental junction affects attack and defense differently. Junctioning to elemental attack links that element to character's attack. Percentage indicates how much of the attack's damage is linked to that element. At the maximum value of 100%, the attack becomes nearly entirely elemental. In the example, ice is at 50%, this means that damage only increased by 50%. When junctioning to elemental defense, the damage from that element is reduced. Reduction of damage is shown in percentage. In the example, fire damage is reduced to 20% because elemental defense is at 80. Green star is displayed when the value goes over 100, indicating that damage is absorbed. In this state, you can absorb the amount of damage indicated in percent. In the example, 50% of fire damage is absorbed. Multiple magic types can be junctioned to elemental defense depending on the Guardian Force's ability. Cool enough. Junctioning multiple magic types with the same elemental for a cumulative effect. There's a lot of fire elemental monsters here, so junction Blizzard to your elemental attack. You'll have an easier time with the fire elemental enemies. Um, Blizzard attack? Hmm. There seems to be some minor flickering in the options menu screen for some reason. Don't want to spend too much time here anyway, but since there's of the flickering, I'm certainly not spending time here. It's not bad enough for me to try to fight it. Uh, yeah, refine fire magic from item, please. Anyone have heals? Ah, still, we watched around for a few minutes and still had enough time to meet, so this certainly isn't too hard. Throw fire. Fire. How the hell was I supposed to get the blizzard attack somewhere from here? Do you have blizzard? What the fuck are you? Probably yes. Yeah. It has all elemental types. Don't want to draw too much, but certainly a few blizzard would help here. I do want to fight when we go out. If we encounter those gigantic palms, blizzard is probably a good way to take them out. That is some sexy whipping right there. I think there's a blade on the tip of that whip, so it's not just a whip. Some kind of chain whip. There's also hidden draw points in the game world. You can access them even if you don't see them, but there's an ability that gets them visible. Some of the most powerful abilities can be hidden that way. Use the Shiva. How effective is Blizzard against you? One-shot kill. Each fight will earn us at least 1 AP, which the GFs use. And we need about 30 to get the refining abilities, so I don't mind fighting. I want that as soon as possible, so we can get those all-important item abilities. That's some high-quality whipping right there. Quetzalcoatl learned refine items, so did Shiva. Excellent. What exactly are you learning next? Refine mid-level magic from other magic. Use card command. Magic plus 20. Maybe... yeah. Want more junctions. Strength, vitality, strength. At least we can refine some basic things now. We do lack the items to refine from. That's where the cards and the out-of-game minigame can come in handy. I haven't installed the minigame yet. It's... How do you really transfer the data though? What it basically does though is we have cards and the card game. It will give you, I think, cards and straight up items. Some of them are very hard to find in the actual game. In the minigame they're not that special. Ability. Water ice magic from an item. So we could 1 M stone into 5 blizzards. Or 5 thunders. So not particularly useful now. However, it's going to pay itself back very, very quickly. Mission success. I think I'll end it here. So far, so good. The game looks terrible. The 3D doesn't work. I can use 3D acceleration. Here we can see some kind of a minor sort of graphical distortions at the edge of these windows, and this seems to flicker occasionally. For the most part it doesn't flicker, but I've noticed it here and there. But if I use the 3D accelerated mode, it's basically unbearable to look at. It has a huge amount of graphical problems, so it's this pixel vomit, but you get used to it fairly quickly in fact. I do like the map more than what we had in Final Fantasy VII. This is actually pretty nice, and you can take a look at things. More or less the 3-continent solution again. City of Balan. Actually, I think we could go to the City of Balan even now. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll have to see the more information about the side mini game we can play on the side. It's basically not something I'll ever going to play. It's something I can leave on the computer when it does other things, and then when I start to play I can synchronize the game, so it'll transfer whatever crap we found in the mini game here. It'll transfer into a few items here and there. I think the benefit might be more felt later on, but we'll see.